Hi, we're professors from the College of Education at Southern Utah University, and we teach the methods courses for pre-service teachers. My name's Peggy Whitwer, and I teach the methods of mathematics, the methods of science, and the methods of classroom management.
And my name is Jamie Hamblin. I teach the methods of language arts and the methods of social studies.
We're going to talk to you today about the Utah Effective Teaching Standards and what our teachers in Utah are graded on. These standards are used for pre-service teachers as well as in-service teachers. And they have created this document of standards that we use when we're teaching our pre-service teachers. This document is made up of 3 pillars: student success, literacy, and numeracy. The 3 pillars are relevant curriculum is the first pillar. We want all teachers to make sure that curriculum is relevant to students and what they will need to be successful in the global world. The second pillar is high quality of instruction. We want all of our teachers to be prepared to give high quality instruction to our students. The third pillar is effective and summative and formative assessment. Will they be able to assess the students that they are teaching in both formative and summative assessment? There are 10 standards that we use. The first one is made up of the learner and learning from the Utah Effective Teaching Standards. And the first standard is learner development. Our students need to learn at what age students can do certain things. The teacher understands cognitive, linguistic, social, emotional, and physical areas of all student development. That's standard number 1. Standard number 2 is the learning differences. The teacher understands individual learner differences between boys and girls, cultural, linguistic differences, and the diversity among students. Standard number 3 is the learning environment. The teacher works with learners to create an environment that supports individual and collaborative learning, positive and social interactions, active engagement in learning, along with self-motivation. The second section of these standards is instructional practice. Effective instructional practice requires that teachers have a deep and flexible understanding of their content areas, that they know how to teach math or science or social studies. They need to be able to draw upon the content knowledge as they work and access information, as they apply knowledge in the real-world setting, and as they address meaningful issues. They must also understand and integrate assessment, planning, and instructional strategies in coordinated and engaging ways to assure that the learner masters the content. In this area, standard number 4 is content knowledge. All teachers must understand the central concepts, tools of inquiry, and structures of the discipline. Standard 5 is assessment. The teacher must use multiple methods of assessment to engage their learners in their own growth, monitor learner progress, guide planning and instruction, and determine whether the outcomes described in content standards has been met.
Continuing with instructional practice, on page 4 is standard number 6, which is instructional planning. This is where the teacher plans according to Utah course standards. They will collaborate to make sure they are creating learning experiences that are beneficial for all learners. They'll differentiate or adapt their instruction for students who learn in different ways. Standard 7 is instructional strategies, where teachers use various instructional strategies to ensure that all learners develop a deep understanding of content areas and their connections and build skills to apply and extend knowledge in meaningful ways. This is where teachers will understand the different developmental, cultural, and linguistic appropriate instructional strategies. They will let the students learn from each other, work in groups, communicate in different ways, and use technology to ensure students are thinking at a high level. The next section in these standards is called professional responsibility. Teachers will be creating and supporting safe, productive learning environments that result in learners achieving at the highest levels. To do this well, teachers must engage in meaningful intensive professional learning by regularly examining practice through ongoing study, self-reflection, and collaboration. They must be aware of legal and ethical requirements and engage in the highest levels of professional and ethical conduct. Standard 8 is reflection and continuous growth. The teacher is a reflective practitioner who uses evidence to continually evaluate and adapt practice to meet the needs of each learner. Standard 9 is leadership and collaboration. The teacher is a leader who engages collaboratively with learners, families, colleagues, and community members to build a shared vision and supportive professional culture focused on student growth and success. Standard 10 is professional and ethical behavior. The teacher demonstrates the highest standard of legal, moral, and ethical conduct as specified in the Utah School Board Rule. This is where teachers show that they not only can teach, they are also doing so in an ethical manner. These last three standards under professional responsibility are not standards that we can observe when we go to watch a teacher teach. These are things we talk about from the beginning when they step in the classroom. Throughout their career, we make sure that they are doing those things, reflecting, leading, and acting in an ethical fashion.
These standards are to be assets for teachers. They're not meant to be a hindrance, but to be an asset. They articulate a common vision and a description of effective teaching and leadership. They validate for teachers and leaders the best practices that they are already using. They serve as a tool for conversation between teachers, mentors, leaders to accelerate the growth in the practice. They provide meaningful feedback to help teachers recognize areas for improvement. They assist teachers in reflecting on their own practice and setting personal goals throughout their career. They build educator morale by showing that teachers and leaders are skilled practitioners with rigorous professional standards. They serve as a tool for self-evaluation of practice and reflection upon their current practice. They serve as a discussion and a goal-setting tool for learning communities. They guide the development of rigorous, relevant professional development, leading to increased teaching and leadership effectiveness. They also guide districts in the development of supportive activities related to formative and summative evaluation. These are the rules and standards that all of our pre-service and in-service teachers must meet.